Isa wrote, heedless of the dew that marks our closing day, we bind ourselves to others. There are few haiku poets of the caliber of Isa and Baso. This haiku says, heedless of the dew that marks our closing day, every day so much dust is created around, so much anger, so much sadness, so much misery, so much misunderstanding. Heedless of all this that marks our closing day, we bind ourselves to others. Our love remains unmarked, unscratched. Our hearts are just like mirrors which don't gather any dust. That is the way of a man of Zen. Go on removing the dust and remember your unity, your union with the whole existence. Nothing allows you to separate you. No anger, no desire, no failure. Nothing divides you from existence. Every evening, remove all the dust. Go to your bed with a clean mirror, in a silent song, harmonious with existence. Manisha's question, beloved Baso, also, Paul writes in the foreword in his book, Zen Flesh, Zen Bones, writes that the 112 techniques of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra may well be roots of Zen. Beloved Osho, do you agree with Paul Rapes? There is a possibility. The 112 techniques of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra are basically one technique in different combinations. That one technique is witnessing. In different situations, use witnessing and you have created a new technique. In all those 112 techniques, that simple witnessing is used. And there is a possibility that directly it may not be joined with Shiva book Vigyan Bhairav Tantra is 5,000 years old. And Gautam Buddha is only 25 centuries old. The gap between Shiva and Buddha is long, 25 centuries. And there seems to be no connecting link. So it may not be that he has directly taken the technique of witnessing from Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, but whether he has taken it directly or not, there is a possibility that somehow from somebody he may have heard. He has moved with many masters before he became a Buddha. Before he found himself the technique of witnessing, he has moved with many masters. Somewhere he may have heard mentioning of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, but it does not seem to have very direct connection, because he was still searching. In fact, it was not witnessing that he was practicing when he became Buddha. The situation is just the reverse. He became Buddha first, and then he found, my God, it is witnessing that has made me Buddha. It was not that he was practicing witnessing. He has dropped everything, tired of all kinds of yogas and mantras and tantras. He simply dropped one evening. He had renounced the kingdom, he has renounced everything. For 6 years he has been torturing himself with all kinds of methods. That evening he dropped all those methods. And under a tree which became known by his name, Bodhi tree, he slept silently. And in the morning when he opened his eyes, the last star of the morning was disappearing. And as the star disappeared, a sudden silence all around. And he became a witness. He was not doing anything specially, just lying down underneath the tree, resting, watching the disappearing star. And as the star disappeared, there was nothing to watch, only watching remained. Suddenly he found that whomever I have been seeking, I am it. So it was Buddha himself who discovered that witnessing has been his path without his awareness. But since Buddha, witnessing or the method of sakshin became a specific method of Zen, Paul Rapp's guess has a possibility. but it cannot be proved historically. And according to me, Buddha was not practicing witnessing. He has found witnessing after he has found that he is a Buddha. So certainly it has nothing to do with Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. But the method is the same. Because the method is the same, in the mind of Paul Reps, a scholarly mind, the idea may have arisen easily that Buddha's method, Zen method, is connected with Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. But this connection seems to be only his guesswork. It has a possibility, but no validity. The bamboos are asking for Sardar Gurdial Singh's time. Put on the light. It is midnight at the rotting saint's graveyard, Cologne. All is quiet, when suddenly there is a rattling noise under one of the gravestones, marked Hamish Humper. Slowly, the stone begins to lift up and the earth begins to crumble and a bony hand reaches out into the air. Slowly but surely, the skeleton of Hamish Humper creeps out of the ground. Hamish brushes the dust off his bones and then knocks on the next stone marked Hector Herpes. Come on, Hector, crackles Hamish. It is time. Then from under the stone marked Hector Herpes comes the sound of bones rattling, and slowly the stone lifts up, and out sides the skeleton of Hector. The two skeletons clatter and rattle as they stand up and shake hands. We are free, raps Hamilton. Let us go. The two guys start running and rattling down the streets of Cologne. Suddenly Hector Herpes stops dead in his tracks. He spins around and starts rattling back towards the grave. When he gets there, he picks up the huge gravestone and carries it back to where Hamish is standing. What the hell are you bringing that thing for? Screeches Hamish. Hey, replies Hector, you cannot travel in Germany without papers. Young Father Fever finishes his training at the Bleeding Cross Jesuit Monastery and moves to New York as the priest of the Immaculate Conception and Miraculous Resurrection Church. Fever soon discovers that one member of the congregation, Lucy Legs, is a prostitute and decides to try and put her up. Fever invites Lucy to the back of the church for an informal discussion. But when the young priest arrives, he finds Lucy sitting naked on an old tombstone with her legs stretched wide apart. Oh my God! nose fever, beginning to perspire. I prayed for you last night. You idiot. There is no need for that. Snaps Lucy. I am on the telephone. But don't worry. You can help me now. Just $50. No, cries Fever, loosening his dark collar. You misunderstand me. I expected to find you on your knees. In fact, I think we should both start by getting down on our knees right away. Okay? If that is how you want it, smiles Lucy, but it is $100 for doggy style. In an effort to try and show the world that all Catholic cardinals are not homosexuals, Pope the Pollock throws a huge ball at the Vatican. All the priests are given dancing lessons, and many glamorous women are invited to attend. On the great night, the Vatican chapel, which has been converted for the event, is soon full of dancing couples. At one point of the evening, gorgeous Gloria finds herself in the arms of Cardinal Cat S, being swirled around the dance floor. Gorgeous Gloria is dressed in a skin-tight, off-the-shoulder dress which highlights her figure perfectly. And many of the cardinals find the dress too revealing. Do you know, says Cardinal Cates, that I have always been a great admirer of yours, and I have always wanted to be in the same joke as you. Thank you, replies Gloria. Yes, says Cates, you are also very beautiful. That is very nice of you to say so, replies Gloria, wondering how she is going to get away from this old idiot. But I ought to tell you something, says Cates, frowning at her strapless dress, that I have just one thing against you. I know, says Gloria, I can feel it. Be silent. Close your eyes and feel your body to be completely frozen. This is the right moment to enter inwards. Gather your energies, your total consciousness, and with an intensity rush towards the center of your being. A deep urgency is needed as if this is going to be your last moment of life. Deeper and deeper. As you are coming closer to your center, a great silence descends over you. Your heart opens up, just as a lotus opens. Fragrance from the beyond surrounds you. One step more, and you are at the very center of your being. This is the point where you are absent and present both. Absent as you have known yourself, and present as a Buddha knows himself. This is your pure sky, your freedom, your eternity, your ecstasy. Witness that you are not the body. Witness that you are not the mind. Witness that you are only the witness. A pure witness, just a mirror. This witnessing is the only revolution that has ever happened to any man. The only revolution that has produced a line of Buddhas. Make it deeper, nivedana, relax, but remain a witness. Gautam the Buddha auditorium becomes an ocean of consciousness. You have just disappeared into this ocean without boundaries. Flowers of silence, flowers of peace, flowers of joy sprung up all over the place. At this moment, you are the most blessed person on the earth, because everybody is lost somewhere in the marketplace. You are one of those chosen few who are searching the truth of your being. And it is always found. Because it is always there waiting for you. It is your authenticity. It is your existence. Zen is an existential path. Experience your Buddhahood before Nivedana calls you back. Collect all these experiences. You have to bring them with yourself. You have to make them part of your daily life. And remember these three things, 3 steps. First, Gautam Buddha follows you like a shadow. Second, you become a shadow of Gautam Buddha. And third, you disappear even as a shadow and become one with the Gautam Buddha. A pure consciousness, a white cloud floating in the sky of ultimate freedom. As you come back, persuade the Buddha to come along with you. Nivedana, come back, but slowly, peacefully, gracefully, showing your Buddha nature. Sit down for a few moments just to remember where you have been, where you are. Has there been an experience? Can that experience remain 24 hours with you like a shadow? It is your very nature. Hence there is no question. It can become your very breathing, your very heartbeat. And look, feel the presence of Buddha behind you. If the first step is taken, the second is not far away, and the third is the easiest.